Concerns involved with town planning within Sharjah. Problems with transportation. There are few public transportation facilities of it, such as there are a limited amount of transportation vehicles, and some even lead to specific destinations only. For example, buses and taxis. Therefore, the absence of amount of diversity in public transportations caused somewhat of the people to buy more cars, whilst negatively affecting the amount of traffic. Also, the weather is another thing that also makes a car indispensable. Parking can also be one of the rampant transport problems in Sharjah. Whilst many vehicles take up majority of the parking places in different areas, motorization increases the demand for parking spaces. Furthermore, this issue causes congestion in the roads, according to drivers searching for parking spaces, which causes delays and impairs local circulation. Difficulties for non-motorized transport. Sharjah has a blatant lack of consideration for pedestrians, such that there isn't a variety of the amount of sidewalks. People constantly pass roads by traversing over road fences, and therefore this is a great disadvantage, such that due to the lack of availability to let pedestrians cross roads safely, it is only dangerous and risky. Also, another issue is traffic. For example, commuting from Dubai to Sharjah. A great amount of Sharjah's populace commutes between their residence in Sharjah and their workplace in Dubai. Mainly, the reason supporting this is related to residential affordability, such that the places to live in Sharjah are less costly in comparison to Dubai's. Therefore, this causes a lot of traffic, eventually causing frustration and high demands for the people, whilst the road system deals with rushes. Furthermore, mandatory trips are mainly responsible for the rush hours. This implies that about half of the congestion in the roads are recurring at specific times of the day and only in specific segments of the transport system in Sharjah. This gives indications to people of the time that they could access the roads when there is no crowd, such by driving at early timings on the road. Another issue that Sharjah's infrastructure has is that whenever rainfall transpires, the street gets congested and people have to deal with road closures and chaotic traffic or intersections. This is because when the rain makes contact with the tarmac, there is no system for the water in the streets to be drained, and therefore the roads get clogged up with cars. This image below shows traffic at Al Wahda Street in Sharjah after rain flooded many streets. Signage. Sharjah has a few issues relating to signage. One of the problems is that there are not enough signboards to indicate which road is where. Also, there are not enough signs such as to indicate the speeds, limits, ramps, etc. Waste management problems differ. Sharjah has no proper drainage system. All the sewage gets treated and then is thrown back into the sea by trucks from the trucks discard station. One of the negatives that recycling has in Sharjah is that various people do not contribute to recycling or don't dispose the correct sorts of waste in the recycling bins, which allows workers to sort out the waste. There are also recycling bins as well as bins for general waste by Tanleek Company, although people do not take this in consideration, which leads to rubbish being exposed in the places they are not supposed to be in. Finally, zoning is another problem, because the industrial, commercial, and residential areas are set aside from one another in Sharjah, in which one of the factors behind it is the density of the population. It has a major negative impact towards the residential areas around the industrial areas. This is caused by air pollution, dust, and bad odors from the industrial areas that enter the residential and commercial areas in Sharjah, whilst causing disturbance and annoyance to the people.